Hey guys, Color Out Camperman Brian here. So it is the end of September, which means it's football season, and it also means that old man winter is knocking on the door. So what I'm going to show you guys here today is by far the easiest way to winterize your RV or camper, and that's by using this RV blowout plug. So you can buy this on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description where you can purchase it. But basically, you hook this into where your city water connection is on your rig, hook up an air compressor, and you blow out your lines. It's super quick, super easy, and what's great about it is you can buy this once and you can continually do this and continually use it. So unlike the RV antifreeze method where you have to buy, a bunch of gallons of antifreeze and then, have that all go to waste and redo that every season, this you can just continually use. And for us, we actually have another camping trip scheduled for the end of October. But the reason I'm blowing out our lines right now is because between now and then, it's likely that we're going to get some freezing temps. So I want to blow out our lines to ensure that between our camping trips, none of our lines freeze up. And then I'll go ahead and redo this again at the end of October for actual winter time, because that'll be our last trip of the year. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started with this and get going. Alright, so here are the tools that you're going to need for this project. You are going to need a socket set to remove your water heater plug, and the socket that we're going to need is a 1 1/16. You're probably also going to need to take off some sort of panel in order to access your water heater bypass. We have a square bit, number 2, and then obviously our blowout plug. And I am going to use a little bit of RV antifreeze, which is going to go in the P-traps because the compressed air will not get in there. And then obviously the other thing that you're going to need is an air compressor. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to drain our fresh water tank. Now we already did this because we just got back from camping, and we go ahead and open up our valves and then just let them drain as we're driving. So make sure you do that before you start anything. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take out our hot water heater plug or anode, depending on what water heater you have. It's also important to make sure that your hot water heater has not been on for a while. You should also not be plugged into power, and you should also disconnect your battery before you do this. So I'm going to go ahead and start cranking this baby open. I'm going to release some of the pressure here using this valve up top. There we go. I'm just going to let this bad boy drain out. This is also obviously a good time to inspect your anode, which ours is looking good still. So we're just going to go ahead and let that drain out. Then we're going to hop on inside, and I'll show you guys our next step. Alright, so now we're on the inside of the camper, and this is where our hot water heater access door is. And what we're going to do in here is we're going to go ahead and open up the bypass the hot water heater. Since we drained all the water out of there, we now want to make sure that no water gets to the hot water heater, the water heater. So boom, so we're going to bypass water going into there, so then as we blow out our lines, it doesn't send any of the air in there, but it routes it out of there. If there's any water that's left in the lines, it should drain out of here, no problem. Okay, so we are here at our air compressor, and we're going to lower PSI to 60. Boom. So on our air compressor, we set the PSI to 60, and then we're just going to go ahead and put our plug right in here. So then all you're going to do is swing around here and hook it up. Then we're going to run on inside. Alright, so now that we have our air compressor all hooked up, all we're going to do is just go ahead and open our valves up. Woo, you can see we got a lot of water in here still. There she goes. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to run around and open up all of our valves, including our toilet. Alright, so here we are in the bathroom. We're going to do the same thing here. Alright, we're going to do the shower. And make sure you do your toilet as well. Alright, and if you do have an outdoor shower, you need to make sure that you do the outdoor shower as well. On our camper, we do have a black tank flush, which is completely separate than everything. Now, all this is going to do, this just has a hose that goes directly to the black tank, but there is water that runs through there here, and it actually does go outside under our camper underneath, and it's not insulated. So, I'm just going to hook that up, and then you could hear it actually go through the black tank there, so we should be all good now. Alright, so our lines are all blown out. There's basically no water anywhere else with the exception of our gray and black tank. So I got a 5-gallon bucket here. Everything should be relatively clean coming out. I'm just going to remove that and then open both. Oh, that's not clean. I was expecting that to be clean because we did our black tank flush, but I guess not. Alright, so now that we got everything blown out here, we're going to go back to our drains and we're going to put some RV antifreeze in there. This is just to make sure that if there's any water in the P-traps that we use the antifreeze in these. So we got both sides of our sink, so we're good there, and then we're just going to go back and do this in our sink in the bathroom as well as the tub. Alright guys, well that wraps it up for this video here on how to winterize your camper. I would say that it was pretty painless and easy. Outside of that black tank flush surprise, it went pretty smooth. So had I not been filming, it probably would have only taken 10, maybe 15 minutes. Last year we had to do this right before an early storm rolled in. And I got our camper, my mother-in-law's camper, done at our storage unit in about 20-25 minutes. So it's pretty quick process overall for sure. So I'll put an Amazon link in the description where you can find that blowout plug as well as some of the other supplies that I used. But otherwise, thank you guys for checking out my video here today. Throw a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.